Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my tarot channel. My name is Paulina and I wanted to do a reading today for you. And it is a psychic reading with mediumship and channeling and tarot. And we'll just see what happens. I'm not gonna really do anything. I'm just gonna see what happens. So, first card, what do we need to know, Spirit? What do we need to know? What does the viewer or the querent need to know? World. You're at a place, I feel like you're at a precipice point, or like the situation that you're in has like plateaued and you're about to be at a new point of access. Axis point, actually, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. A new axis point. Like, you know how the world is on an axis and it spins? So maybe something life-changing sort of coming up here. And Spirit, what's hidden from the viewer? What's hidden from the viewer? I think what's hidden is that you've been deeply anxious. Sometimes when we're really anxious, we don't even realize how anxious we are. Like, it becomes sort of old hat. And I think I really recommend doing some meditation, like guided meditation, or even like shamanic drumming, or Tibetan chimes, or just like white noise machines that have like, I like to listen to the Amazon jungle. I know that's weird. Or like cricket sounds, just thinking of like, or just ASMR, people love that. What else is there to listen to? Oh, I listen to just like, you know, different frequencies of different things, like, you know, people make frequency music. They're supposed to be like letting go or this or that. Yeah, for some reason I'm being called to say Gregorian chants. I don't know if that's meaningful for someone. But yeah, I also just really like enjoy hypnosis. I don't know if anyone's into that here, but I'm feeling like the viewer has some subconscious fears that if you're in a suspended state of non-thought, they will come to the surface, and you may cry or feel the fear and then release it, or whatever feeling comes up. And I think that's an important thing here. So spending some time doing some meditation or listening. Also, like the Hertz music, I really think that, like the binaural beats, I love that. I believe that those things work. Okay, we got the Star, Two of Swords reversed, and Queen of Cups reversed. I'm gonna buy a ring light. I know it's weird to do this in the dark. I just want to save the car light, but hello, I'm alive. I'm here. Okay, so I feel like maybe you've been a little sad lately. I say a little because it's Queen of Cups, not King of Cups. Not that women are all little, but I mean, I'm 5'8", but you know, I feel like the King of Cups reverse would be a bigger depression. This is like maybe a queenly depression. But I feel like also maybe this is past, present, future here. Maybe in the past you had some depression. It's kind of reverse actually, and it had to do with some mother figure, or maybe just a woman. If not a mother, a woman maybe that you, and if not a woman, if this is a man who was emotive, or a woman who was emotional. And your depression had to do with them, okay? I don't know, maybe you lost them. Maybe this person left your life. In the recent past, you've been trying to connect more with community and to be sort of a beacon in the community. And in the future, you're going to be coming out of a state of indecision. I feel like the indecision has to do with this person, this emotive person that made you go into a depression. Yeah, definitely some closure ending. Maybe I feel like you're grieving and you're learning that sort of like if you let go of something, it comes back to you, it's yours here. Because this is about holding on to something, and in reverse it could be about letting go of the thing you're holding on to. So this is just about closure. So I feel like this closure, maybe you also felt judged by this person. But this person also taught you about immateriality in some sense. Maybe you focus a lot on money, or like how to get money, or this person showed you money can't buy me love. Maybe they're like a Beatles fan, or like a hippie kind of person. Okay, I got King of Cups, Page of Cups reversed. You felt like you couldn't trust this person, like they were being deceptive, or at one point maybe you felt like they broke the trust. Let's get some info on that. Ooh. I feel like you and this person are both very strong. And Spirit's telling me that, I know it's creepy when I say that, but it just means that like I'm seeing images, or like hearing, and not literally hearing, but like words, or and just like feeling feelings, and whatever comes up, I'm like, I'm thinking of this as channeling here. So, and I have had more direct experiences where I have heard things or seen things, and sometimes other people have been there. So I'm like, my life is a hotbed for supernatural activity, and I have corroborating evidence. Yeah. I feel like you've been strong in trying to wait for something to come to you. Maybe this person, but I think it's coming on the heels of some old relationship is what I'm tuning into, is what I'm seeing when I look at your energy, when I look at your auric field, and I drop in and do astral projection. Feels like a lot of tension, especially in the upper back. And it feels like you would benefit from something called rolfing, which is actually, I don't know if anyone really does this anymore, but it's something, basically massaging the organs in pressure points so that they can like circulate the blood. Oh, light came on when I said that. Let's see if I'm channeling any songs here. And we'll go back to the reading. Okay. I am channeling a song, but it does not make sense to me, so we'll just see. It's Feliz Navidad. And it is, I'll just turn the light on to sing it because it's important. So it's Feliz Navidad, bum 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 bum. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Okay, so that is what we sang when I was a kid, and we lived in Florida for like a bit, like probably a year and a half or something. And I don't know, I was in like the thing that is before brownies. What is it called? I don't know. I just liked doing crafts and like singing songs, so it was perfect for me. But it's like the thing before brownies, whatever it is. I don't really know what it's called. It's like a bunch of girls singing songs, doing crafts, and wearing outfits after school. We sang that song, and even when it wasn't Christmas, I don't know why. I feel like you've experienced sort of, okay, so I feel like you were in a relationship where you felt like you were like crucifying yourself almost. I'm sorry, that seems like a little bit of a direct hit on Jesus, but I love Jesus. I'm just saying, like, the analogy here is like, or if this was like an SAT problem, like, I'm thinking of the Feliz Navidad song because I'm thinking of, I guess, Christ maybe is on my subconscious or something. But you felt like you were taken advantage of, or you gave a lot, or so that was the energy that you were coming from when you met this newer person, okay? And this newer person left your life. because they couldn't deal with your sort of issues, your like maybe controlling nature, but you're not seeing that all along they were interested in you. And I think you were perceiving that they were taken or spoken for or not interested, and maybe acting out some stuff that was from your old relationship with them. This is all being channeled right now. I feel like this is being channeled by one of your ancestors or like someone who's passed on, because I wouldn't know this. It seems very personal. It seems like the relationship you've been in or are leaving or have left, it was very toxic because both people were like constantly pushing each other's buttons, and so you don't trust that you could have a relationship where someone wouldn't like, what am I trying to say? I feel like you just don't trust like that someone wouldn't hurt you, I guess is just a more basic way to say it. And your ancestor or like person that you were related to is telling me that like you need to, let's see, what card would they give us? Your ancestor who's coming through the reading and telling me that you're acting out, and they're telling me that you got into this other relationship that you were in for a while because you were very lonely, you were needy. I mean, it was at one point a helpful, good relationship, and you did grow, but you also got into it at a different point when you were a different person, okay? And you put up with a lot of things that if you were listening to someone say it, you would be like, no, don't put up with that. Your ancestors saying that like this old relationship gave you a lot of anxiety and like it was messing with your nervous system. Something about it. Maybe it was like on and off, maybe, or even if you were like married or lived together, it could still be on and off. Like it could, maybe somebody was distant and then available, and you know, or depressed, or you know, maybe they had addiction problems so that it limited their availability, or maybe they traveled a lot, or maybe they were sick with something which isn't their fault, but, or maybe they were just very depressed. I'm just giving reasons why someone might be absent. Your ancestor is also saying that you maybe seeing through this illusion of how this relationship isn't working. It's painful, and it's also bringing inner contentment because it turned the wheel and you did meet someone else, even though I'm seeing that it didn't fall through or didn't work out. I mean, this person has left your life because you got very close to get emotionally, I'm hearing or feeling, and then it was like I'm seeing like a diving board. It was like either dive in the pool or, you know, stay on the edge, dive in the deep end. I'm hearing this person wanted you to dive in the deep end, and you were like, oh, I'm not really ready for that. Okay, yeah. And this is a breakup card. So not only did you leave this like other person that was like the second person, I mean, they left you, that's a breakup there, but also like you may be breaking up with this other person, you know, this, or I don't know what the order is. Like there's two relationships here, and there's one that was longer and toxic, and then there was a more recent one that maybe happened during the tail end of the toxic one, or I don't know, but it was meaningful. And you couldn't show up properly because you were still hurting from all the wounds of the other relationship. Maybe you were cheated on. I didn't even get that there. You know, I'm getting that this person though is a very loyal person. They wouldn't like, and then I'm getting that this created situations with this new person where you kept thinking you're being lied to, etc. And I don't think you were. Let's get some info here. Oh, sorry. So I feel like there was some sort of battle where it led people to be continually looking in on each other, like spying. Sorry, I had to move, but I feel like you and maybe your ex had like privacy issues where like maybe there were secrets, and so that led you to be like overly looking in on what they were doing, and then maybe you started to not care at a certain point because the trust is broken. And then with this new person, I think you were the same. You were like maybe even spying on them in some ways, but you know, let's get a closing message here, because it seems like it's just to bring to your attention this situation, which I think is in your subconscious, and here you are. Here, this is what happened. You know, I think you will have another chance with this person, the number 2 person. I think the old relationship is very much over. It's been done. It's not working, and it's like negative, you know. And I think it's okay to try again. And I think this new person would be up for it, even if there's been conflict. And let's get a message from them, from this new person that has left your life, but they do want to say something through me to you. They're thinking of you. They're wondering how you're doing. They're thinking, are you okay? Also, they're just hoping you're not, you know, holding on to some old stuff. They're also wondering if they'll ever see you again, which is a weird thought. I mean, they feel, I'm sorry, that's not the message from them. Okay. They feel like, sorry. What do they want to say? Okay. This is, okay. So they've been dealing with some anger issues, and maybe also just like problems with wanting to, you know, interact with you in a passionate way. And then also they've been having some depression. They've been feeling embarrassed for some reason. They feel like they lost some fight. They feel like you're maybe terse with your words. You don't care about them. And they also feel like you're a liar. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, but what about their higher self? What does their higher self feel about you? Their higher self. Let's get a message from their higher self, and then we'll close the reading. Ooh. Their higher self feels bottom of the deck, heartbroken and defensive, but they feel like they see that you couldn't handle them in some ways, and you felt like you felt like it was one-sided, like you were helping them. They also felt like you have a sweetness to you, and they hold on to that memory, and that's very nice. And I think I'll just end the reading there, and I'll do a few confirmations, not anything crazy. I'm getting people from Canada, people from Mexico, people from South America, people from the south of the United States, people also from specifically the state of Tennessee, people from northern and southern California, people from Connecticut and New England, people from Long Island, someone in New York City, specifically Manhattan, specifically the Lower East Side, someone from Brooklyn, someone from Queens, a lot of New York people watching within the next couple years this video, if I'm seeing correctly. And then let me just get some, oh, and then there's somebody with Native American heritage watching. Let me get some confirmations of names. Anyone named Paul? Someone named Joan? Someone named Leah? Marcus? Aurelia? Alexis? Adam? Jonathan? John? Justine? Or J names? Jason? Anyone with an M name, and then L names, And then anyone who has H in their name in the last name. Okay, so that's specific. Also, anybody with the letter I in their first name. Okay. I'm also getting the number 727. So 14, 15, 16. So that's number 6. Let me add that up. Let me do that again. 14, 15, 16. Wait, I said 727, right? So that's 14. And then 15, 16. I guess that just adds up to 7. That's funny. Okay, so that is Neptune. I might have said a different number originally, but we'll just go with 727. And that means also just like letting the mystery of partnership, like, and the partnerships in our lives, like, just happen, and not overthinking them. You know, sometimes we meet people and we don't know really why. It's just part of the greater mystery. I'm also getting The Karate Kid. That may be a meaningful movie for someone. I'm getting an image of skiing. Somebody in Colorado, or who spent time in Colorado, specifically who spent time skiing and hiking there. Someone who likes craft beer is watching. Someone who does braiding of their children's hair is watching. Okay, these are all confirmations. Somebody whose favorite color is green. I'm getting green. Someone with a green thumb. Okay, maybe watching. Also, you maybe have a garden, or just like be a vegetarian or vegan. Also, you may be in a situation where you're starting fresh, you're green, you're new. Also, money may be very important right now. Also, you may have a green aura. Let me just tap in again. See what I see with my sight if I close my eyes for a second. I feel like, sorry, I say I feel like a lot. That's how I open up what I'm about to say. I'm seeing a vulture, and so there may be like some big death that has happened, and there may have someone may have literally died in your life that you knew. It doesn't have to be a deep relationship. It may have even been problematic, but it shook you up and changed your sight. It changed your vision of the world. You may have also had an animal experience after this person's death that felt like confirmation from them. I'm telling you that that was them talking to you. And the vulture. The vulture is also about you, you know, changing and cleansing with death. So, I also saw a road, like a winding road, actually, that goes up a mountain. So I think you're being led to a higher vantage point right now in your life, like spiritually, and just let that happen. It may be scary because when you're at a higher elevation, you do have issues with oxygen, for example, as a metaphor there. It's called hypoxia. Let's just do some more confirmations. Did I do birthdays? Anyone born in September? Anyone with a 9 in their birthday? Anyone born from 1980 to 1986? Anyone born at an equinox date? You know, I don't know exactly what those dates are, but you can look them up. Fall equinox, summer equinox, spring equinox, winter equinox. Anyone born with a December birthday, but the end of the month, okay? I'm also getting January 16th, 26th, 29th, 84. Sorry, 1984 could be their birthday. And I'm getting some birthdays in the summer, like August, June, and July, specifically the 28th, 22nd, 30th, 31st, and the 2nd. So if any of those are important birthdays or are your birthday or whatever, take that into account. And final message from Spirit, if I listen in, I'm hearing practice what you preach for some reason. I don't know what that would mean for you, but I think that it means, I don't want you to take that negatively, like you're not doing what you say is good, but I think that it means, actually, I want to read it here as self-care. That if you're someone who is like telling others to take care of themselves, I don't think you're doing a good job of that, no offense. I think that has to be the main focus here. And then maybe you can return to this relationship, this other person, with a fresh start, and I'm sure they would have you and be willing to work it out. So that's the energy I'm feeling, and getting confirmation from Saint Francis, again, patron saint of animals. For some reason it's showing up in my readings. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great day.